Your doctor told you to cut it out completely. Your cardiologist probably gave you that lecture about blood pressure and heart palpitations. Your wife's been pushing decaf on you for years, but what if I told you that black coffee sitting in your kitchen right now is the only thing standing between waking up 5 times every night to pee and sleeping straight through until sunrise? Between feeling like half the man you used to be and getting back that energy you thought vanished for good? What if absolutely everything they told you is completely backwards? I'm Dr. Natalia Parker, and I'm going to explain this with complete clarity. Because here's what nobody's telling you. While you've been limiting yourself to 1 week cup in the morning or switching to decaf based on outdated cardiovascular warnings from decades ago, your prostate has been slowly deteriorating. The inflammation has been quietly building, the blood vessels have been constricting, and the damage might be happening right now, this exact moment, while you're watching this. Most men have absolutely no idea this is occurring until it's already too late, until they're sitting across from a urologist being told they need daily medication or something far worse. The warning signs start subtle. You don't catch them because they develop so gradually over months and years. Let me ask you something important. When was the last time you felt genuinely energized in the morning? Not just awake from forcing yourself out of bed, but actually energized. The kind of natural drive where intimacy doesn't feel like an obligation you're supposed to fulfill, where you don't feel that constant dull pressure in your pelvis, that heaviness you've slowly learned to accept as completely normal and unavoidable. You think that's just aging, don't you? Everyone around you said it's just part of getting older. Your doctor might have even confirmed it with those exact words. Well, you're 58 now. This is expected at your age. They misled you. What's actually happening inside your body right now is a cascade of vascular inflammation that most doctors never properly explain because they're not trained to see the full picture. They treat isolated symptoms, they write prescriptions, they schedule your next appointment, but they never address the underlying root cause. And the solution isn't hiding in that prescription bottle collecting dust in your bathroom cabinet. It's probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now, being deliberately avoided because you've been conditioned to fear it for all the wrong reasons. Here's the thing about coffee that will completely transform everything you thought you understood about your health. You've been told coffee is just caffeine, a stimulant that jacks up your heart rate and blood pressure, makes you jittery, anxious, dependent. Something you should minimize or eliminate entirely as you get older. Your body would be better off without it, right? Completely wrong. And this fundamental misunderstanding might be silently destroying your quality of life. When you drink a typical energy drink or caffeinated soda, you're flooding your system with synthetic caffeine designed for one purpose only: a quick artificial spike. It hits your bloodstream like a hammer, forces your adrenal glands to dump stress hormones, and then crashes you hard an hour later. Your cardiovascular system gets no real benefit. Your circulation doesn't improve, your blood vessels don't get healthier. It's just chemical manipulation with zero lasting value. But coffee, real coffee, that's something entirely different on a molecular level. Coffee wasn't designed by food scientists in a laboratory. It evolved over thousands of years as one of the most biochemically complex beverages found in nature. Everything needed to support healthy circulation, reduce systemic inflammation, and protect delicate tissue is in there. Every polyphenol, every antioxidant compound, perfectly balanced, perfectly proportioned, ready to work immediately throughout your entire vascular system. Scientists have studied this extensively. Coffee contains over 1,000 bioactive compounds. That means almost every single sip delivers multiple therapeutic benefits simultaneously to tissues throughout your body. No waste, no inefficiency, pure targeted support delivered exactly where you need it most. And here's where it gets absolutely critical for men over 50. We're not just talking about feeling more alert or having better focus during your morning routine. I'm talking about the microscopic blood vessels that feed your prostate tissue with oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs. The arteries that need to dilate rapidly and maintain pressure to create a firm, reliable erection. The smooth muscle tissue lining your bladder and urinary tract that controls flow and prevents that constant feeling of never being completely empty. These tissues are under relentless biological attack every single day. Oxidative stress from poor diet, chronic inflammation from sitting too long, age-related endothelial dysfunction that slowly strangles blood flow, micro damage from elevated blood sugar, from visceral fat pressing on your organs, from cortisol flooding your system during periods of stress. And here's what most men don't fully grasp until the functional problems have already started and become difficult to reverse. Your body is desperately trying to repair this vascular damage constantly. Every night while you sleep, your cardiovascular system attempts to rebuild what deteriorated during the day, but it can't complete that repair process without the right protective compounds. The polyphenols in coffee are the defensive materials your blood vessels have been starving for. Many of my patients describe this exact same progression. They notice a subtle but persistent heaviness in the pelvic area they can't quite identify. Others mention that recovery after sexual activity takes noticeably longer than it used to just a few years ago. Some realize they can't fully empty their bladder anymore, that uncomfortable sensation of always having a little left, that frustrating feeling of never being quite finished no matter how long they stand there. This is your body desperately trying to communicate with you, sending urgent signals, screaming that something's fundamentally wrong, and you've been completely ignoring those signals because some well-meaning cardiologist told you coffee would damage your heart based on research from the 1980s that's been thoroughly debunked by modern science. The caffeine myth that destroyed an entire generation of men's vascular health. Now, I need you to understand something absolutely critical about blood flow that changes everything you think you know. If you're one of those men who switched to decaf years ago because you thought you were doing your heart a favor, you need to hear this right now before it's too late. Decaf coffee gives you some antioxidants. Absolutely. It's not completely worthless, but it gives you almost none of the acute vascular benefits that make the real difference for prostate health and sexual function. Your blood vessels can't respond and dilate properly without the caffeine molecule working synergistically with those polyphenols. The effect is reduced by 60 to 70% compared to regular coffee. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between maintaining healthy function and watching it slowly decline year after year. You know that sluggish, heavy feeling you get in your lower body by mid-afternoon? That sense that everything below your waist just isn't working quite right? That's not random bad luck. That's not just being older. That's your pelvic circulation being chronically inadequate. Coffee is completely different from any other beverage when it comes to sustained vascular support. The caffeine and polyphenols working together aren't your enemy like you've been repeatedly told. They're your strategic biological advantage. Your blood vessels can maintain improved dilation and healthy pressure for 4 to 6 hours after a single cup. The kind of sustained healthy flow that doesn't spike and crash. The kind that keeps your prostate tissue properly oxygenated and your pelvic circulation working optimally from morning until evening. That means no mid-morning energy collapse where you feel physically drained. No desperate need for sugar at 11 a.m. because your body's running on empty and panicking. No afternoon circulation crash that leaves you feeling weak and lethargic. And here's the connection that most men completely miss until someone finally explains it clearly and directly. Healthy blood flow means healthy nitric oxide production. Healthy nitric oxide directly supports the vascular dilation mechanism you absolutely need for a strong, reliable erection. Every single time you allow your circulation to stagnate, every time you accept that heavy, sluggish feeling as normal, you're literally sabotaging your own sexual performance. You're damaging the exact biological pathway you need functioning properly. Coffee keeps your circulation active for hours. It dramatically reduces the inflammatory compounds that constrict blood vessels and damage endothelial tissue. It actively supports healthy testosterone metabolism by reducing systemic inflammation. And that matters enormously because every single point you reduce inflammation directly benefits your prostate. Every point helps maintain healthier hormone levels naturally. Every point reduces your risk of developing serious problems that require medical intervention. Better libido, stronger morning erections, easier urinary flow, improved confidence in intimate situations. Everything's interconnected. Your body isn't separate, isolated systems operating independently. It's one integrated network where circulation affects everything. But there's something else happening with coffee that you absolutely need to understand, something almost nobody discusses in practical terms. Coffee isn't just caffeine and antioxidants, it's a sophisticated natural anti-inflammatory delivery system. The chlorogenic acids in coffee can actually reduce the activity of inflammatory enzymes and calm irritated tissue throughout your entire body. Now, why does this matter specifically for your prostate? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the most common and most dangerously overlooked causes of persistent prostate discomfort and dysfunction. You don't even realize it's there. No obvious symptoms, no acute pain, no fever or emergency, just constant invisible cellular inflammation slowly degrading your tissue quality day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year until the problems become undeniable. When you drink quality coffee consistently, you're introducing these gentle but powerful anti-inflammatory compounds into your circulation. They support your body's natural ability to calm that hidden irritation that's been silently destroying your quality of life. And yes, you might have heard that coffee causes dehydration, that it worsens urinary frequency and urgency, that it irritates the bladder. That's only true if you're consuming extreme amounts on an empty stomach without adequate water intake throughout the day. For the vast majority of men drinking 2 to 3 cups daily with food and proper hydration, coffee actually improves overall tissue health. That myth needs to be completely abandoned based on current evidence. But here's what nobody talks about until the damage becomes severe and potentially permanent: vascular aging. You lose muscle tone in your arms and legs as you get older. Everyone sees that happening. Your clothes fit differently. Your physical strength gradually declines, but you're also losing critical vascular tone in your pelvic blood vessels. And you can't see that deterioration happening until the functional problems start becoming obvious and concerning. Those hidden vessels supply your prostate with oxygen. They control your ability to achieve and maintain firm erections. They regulate inflammation and tissue repair throughout your entire pelvic region. When those vessels lose tone and become less responsive, everything starts failing in sequence. The signal your body needs to maintain and protect that vascular health is called AMPK activation. Think of AMPK as your body's master metabolic switch. Without adequate AMPK signaling circulating through your tissues, your blood vessels literally don't get the biochemical message to stay healthy, flexible, and responsive. The protective pathways don't activate properly. Your vascular system just slowly degrades, silent, invisible, devastating to your quality of life. Coffee powerfully activates AMPK in the most natural, sustainable way that exists. If you're noticing weaker urinary stream, occasional dribbling after you think you're finished, or that you don't feel as firm during intimacy as you remember being, this is exactly the vascular support your body has been desperately asking for without you realizing it. AMPK keeps your blood vessels responsive and healthy. It directly improves prostate circulation. It helps maintain overall metabolic health, which controls weight gain, which directly influences prostate size and hormone balance. One single daily habit, an entire cascade of interconnected protective benefits throughout your body. But wait, because there's a group of compounds in coffee that almost nobody discusses that most doctors don't even know exist: cafestol, kawel, and trigonelline. These three work together to support something called NRF2 activation. And if you've never heard of NRF2, pay very close attention right now, because this might explain everything you've been experiencing for years without understanding why. Think of NRF2 as your body's internal antioxidant defense system working around the clock. It protects cells from oxidative damage before they become cancerous. It clears out inflammatory metabolites so they don't accumulate and create chronic problems. It maintains the health of tissues throughout your body, especially in areas under constant stress like your prostate. When NRF2 activity becomes insufficient or impaired, you feel it everywhere throughout your system. Chronic fatigue that rest doesn't fix. Persistent low-grade discomfort in your pelvis that never quite goes away. Reduced sexual desire that no amount of willpower can overcome. a prostate that feels constantly irritated, heavy, uncomfortable, no matter what you do. Many men have chronic inflammation that naturally suppresses NRF2 activity, and most of them don't even realize that's what's happening. They just endure the symptoms year after year, assuming it's inevitable aging with no solution. Coffee provides your body with the exact compounds it needs to keep this critical protective system functioning at optimal levels naturally without drugs or interventions. Cafestol and Kawil support your liver's ability to process and eliminate toxins. Trigonelline helps regulate blood sugar and reduces inflammatory stress on tissues. My patients consistently tell me they feel noticeably more energized and significantly less discomfort after making quality coffee a non-negotiable daily habit for just 3 to 4 weeks. This internal cellular protection helps naturally balance inflammation, support healthy circulation, and create a fundamentally healthier environment for your prostate to function normally and for sexual performance to improve dramatically. Now, the caffeine and chlorogenic acids in coffee provide incredibly powerful vascular protection that extends far beyond what most people realize. Your prostate is under relentless oxidative stress every single day from multiple unavoidable sources. Poor diet choices, hours of sitting, chronic psychological tension, environmental toxins you can't avoid, all of it generates unstable molecules that attack your cells. The polyphenols in coffee travel through your bloodstream and actually incorporate themselves directly into the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels, including the tiny vessels that supply your prostate. Once embedded there, they neutralize those destructive molecules before they can cause inflammation and permanent vascular damage that accumulates over years. Less inflammation throughout the tissue, dramatically improved microcirculation, a fundamentally healthier environment for your prostate to function optimally. And the exact same protective mechanism extends to the delicate arteries you absolutely need for strong, dependable erections that don't fail when you need them most. Comment below right now and tell me where you're watching from, because I see men from literally all over the world dealing with exactly these same circulation issues, and nobody's connecting the dots for them about coffee. Here's where most guys make a critical and expensive mistake, though. Not all coffee is created equal. This matters far more than you probably think. Conventional grocery store coffee often comes from beans treated with pesticides and herbicides that act as endocrine disruptors in your body. Those chemicals accumulate in your tissues and can actually interfere with healthy hormone metabolism. Exactly what you don't need if you're trying to support prostate health and maintain healthy testosterone levels. Instant coffee sounds convenient, saves time, but the processing destroys most of the beneficial polyphenols and antioxidants. The health difference compared to freshly brewed coffee is massive. You're basically getting caffeine and almost nothing else. What you actually want, what makes a real measurable physiological difference, is organic, freshly ground coffee brewed properly. Beans grown without chemicals, ground fresh, and brewed with clean filtered water produce coffee with significantly higher levels of chlorogenic acids and protective polyphenols, both absolutely essential for vascular health and prostate function. If organic isn't available in your area or doesn't fit your budget, don't let perfect become the enemy of good. Any real brewed coffee is still infinitely better than energy drinks loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients. The most important factor is consistency and making it a daily habit without excuses. Now, to make your coffee even more therapeutically effective for prostate health, you need to combine it strategically with specific other foods. This is where the real synergistic magic happens. Dark chocolate or raw cacao. The flavonoids combine with coffee's polyphenols to dramatically amplify nitric oxide production through a specific biochemical pathway. This combination directly supports stronger, more reliable blood flow exactly where you need it most for both prostate health and sexual function. Cinnamon, especially Ceylon cinnamon, this helps stabilize blood sugar response and adds additional anti-inflammatory compounds that work synergistically with coffee's natural benefits. The effect on reducing inflammation is significantly greater than either one alone. Walnuts or almonds provide healthy fats that slow caffeine absorption and provide sustained energy without crashes. They also add additional compounds that support testosterone metabolism and reduce inflammatory stress throughout your system. Black pepper might seem irrelevant, but it contains piperine, which can increase absorption of coffee's beneficial compounds by up to 2,000% for certain polyphenols. Never skip adding just a small pinch if you can handle it in terms of taste. Brew your coffee using filtered water and avoid adding sugar or artificial sweeteners that spike insulin and counteract the metabolic benefits. Use a small amount of grass-fed butter or coconut oil if you want sustained energy and enhanced absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants. The simple daily habit that changes everything for the majority of men I've worked with. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of quality coffee per day is the research-backed optimal range. You can spread them throughout the morning and early afternoon. Some men do 2 in the morning and 1 after lunch. The secret isn't the exact timing. The secret is unwavering consistency without skipping days. Many of my patients report noticeably easier bathroom trips within 3 weeks, less waking up multiple times at night to urinate, more consistent, stronger urinary flow, more reliable performance during intimate moments, better quality morning erections, sustained energy that lasts throughout the entire day without afternoon crashes. This isn't magic. This isn't a miracle cure someone's trying to sell you. This is simply your vascular system finally getting the consistent daily support it's been missing and desperately asking for. But here's what you absolutely must understand about realistic timing and managing expectations properly. The changes don't happen overnight, like taking a pharmaceutical drug. Your blood vessels need time to repair endothelial damage, to restore healthy function, to reverse years of accumulated inflammatory stress. Some men notice meaningful differences within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent daily intake. Others take a full month or even 6 weeks depending on how severe their vascular dysfunction and inflammation levels are when they start. The real question you need to ask yourself honestly is this: are you willing to give your body the consistent daily support it needs, or are you going to keep doing exactly what you've been doing for years and somehow magically expect different results to appear? Because here's the harsh reality that most men don't want to face directly and honestly. Every single day you wait, every day you delay making this simple change is another full day of ongoing vascular damage. Another day of cumulative inflammation attacking your prostate. Another night of interrupted sleep destroying your body's ability to recover. Another gradual decline in function that might eventually become permanent and irreversible. Your prostate and vascular system don't care about your excuses, your hesitation, or your skepticism. They only respond to what you consistently give them day after day. And right now, right this exact moment, you have a clear choice directly in front of you. You can close this video and completely forget everything you just learned. Go right back to your comfortable routine. Keep avoiding coffee because someone gave you outdated advice decades ago based on flawed research. Keep waking up multiple times every night. Keep feeling that uncomfortable pressure and heaviness. Keep wondering when things will magically improve on their own without any action from you. Or you can start tomorrow morning with 2 cups of quality organic coffee strategically combined with the right supportive foods and finally give your vascular system the precise daily support it's been desperately begging for. The decision is entirely yours, but the consequences of that decision are also entirely yours to live with. Your next step. If this content genuinely helped you understand what's really happening inside your body at a vascular and cellular level, subscribe to this channel because we consistently explain what almost nobody else addresses with this level of scientific clarity and practical application. We don't sugarcoat uncomfortable truths. We don't sell you false hope or miracle supplements. We give you actionable, science-backed information supported by decades of clinical experience with real patients getting real measurable results. You're not broken beyond repair. You haven't passed your prime years. Your best health isn't behind you. You're just under-resourced. Your vascular system is starving for the consistent daily support it needs.